All right, we've got Tom DeWeese, who is the president of the American Policy Center and the editor of the DeWeese Report. Tom, talk to us about Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. Give us the rundown. What exactly is this?
Well, Agenda 21 was one of the policies that was adopted in 1992 at the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro. And sustainable development is the policy that comes out of Agenda 21. Agenda 21 is basically a blueprint for a complete restructuring of our government system, leading towards a global governance system. And it is affecting primarily the cities, the local communities. There are organizations operating that are international organizations that are moving into local communities to help mayors and city councils and county commissioners set up these policies. But they come directly from Agenda 21, and it is based on environmental protection. That's the excuse that they are using to put these policies in place. It affects your local development, it affects population control, it affects what kind of jobs, what kind of businesses can operate in your community. But as I said, the environment is the excuse for this.
So we're talking about an international control that is being drilled down to the local level, am I right?
That's correct, yeah. And the United Nations has held conferences around the world specifically for mayors of the communities to get them to sign on to Agenda 21 items, to get them to set goals, to get them to set dates to have these things put in place. They had one in San Francisco back in 2005. And for example, one of the things that they had mayors sign on to was had to do with water control. They used the figure 100 liters, that they would reduce the use of water down to less than 100 liters per person per day. Well, the fact of the matter is the U.S. Geological Survey shows that the average American uses 100 gallons of water a day. A liter is a quarter of a gallon. And what this really means is, if you use these terms, under Sustainable Development Principles pushed by the UN that these mayors are signing on to, was reduction of water use by 75%. So that's just one example of the kind of things these mayors were signing on to. The reason that we're driving towards $4 a gallon for gas and more has to do with these kind of environmental controls under sustainable development. The idea behind sustainable development is get us out of our cars, get us into public transportation, sustainable communities that are being created. Portland, Oregon was the poster child for this. What they wanted was people living along the light rail lines. They don't build garages for the cars. There was they did everything they could to make cars inconvenient. They're doing this in San Francisco right now. And the idea is to get you out of your car and take public transportation.
No, Tom,
and one way to,
Tom, how does this limit personal freedom?
Well, it limits personal freedom because it's told to you this is what you'll do. These are not your choices. This is, they control the water usage on your property. They control, the drive-up prices for energy, for gasoline, and so forth. That's not free market driven. That is government control.
Well, Tom, is this part of the green movement? Is this part? Is it part and parcel? Is it a result of? What is this? How's the green movement connected?
Yeah, the Green Movement is the NGOs out of the United Nations. There are several thousand NGO organizations, non-governmental organizations. Most of them are somehow related to the Green Movement. The United Nations, through the United Nations Environmental Program, which is the grandpa of all of them, kind of creates these policies, and then these NGOs help write details for them, and then they go into the communities and help put them in place. And in fact, if you look at the logo that is used for sustainable development, it's 3 interconnecting circles. We call the 3 E's. One of them is ecological integrity, and that, of course, is environmental protection. That's the excuse. But the other 2 are social equity and economic prosperity. Well, social equity is, first of all, the term social justice was first coined by Karl Marx. And we hear this term all the time now, social justice or injustice. Some of the examples of social equity that are on sustainable development sites that I've looked up show that it is a social injustice for a company to have bosses over employees. It is a social injustice for a country to have borders where people are just trying to take care of their families and move to another country.
So the end result here, I mean, these people are overturning the traditional structures of life and liberty, the pursuit of happiness and business. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, the whole purpose, the Sustainable Development Program, Agenda 21, as we said, is a blueprint, what Al Gore called a wrenching transformation of society. And that was away from sovereign nations. It was away from individual liberty. Under sustainable development, you cannot have individual liberty, you cannot have free enterprise, private property, or limited government. It is the exact opposite of all those.
Now, Tom, we have a few minutes left here. Can you throw out some names? Who are the key players here? I mean, we do have these international agencies, but are there any specific driving players behind this? Members of royal families, perhaps, or large governments, or just bureaucrats?
Well, the guy I dubbed the most dangerous man in the world was Maurice Strong. This is an industrialist from Canada who, if you follow all the roads from you to the top, every road leads to Maurice Strong. A good buddy of his, of course, is Al Gore. And there are organizations, these non-governmental organizations, the ones in your communities to watch for. There's an organization called ICLEI, the International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives, ICLEI. I spoke up in Spokane, Washington just a year ago this week, and I told a gathering of people there about ICLEI, about what this organization does. They are paid dues by their by the local city councils. This organization comes in and sets all these processes up and turns your community into a sustainable community. I told this to this audience in Spokane. They went to the city council meeting the next night and found out every single thing I was telling them was true. In fact, that night, ICLEI was introducing the new visioning program for Spokane that they've been working on for over a year. A war broke out from that point that continues to rage over what people need to do. There are now 544 American cities that have ICLEI in those cities. Their communities are paying dues to them, and what you need to do is go to your city council, find out if ICLEI is in your city. You can go to ICLEI.org, ICLEI.org, and you can see the list of all the cities on their website. And if ICLEI is in your city, start agitating to get them out and stop paying dues to them. But there are other organizations that do this as well, the Sierra Club, the Audubon Society, the Nature Conservancy, and on and on and on. My town here where I am in Warrenton, Virginia, which is a small little town, has at least 17 of these organizations operating to have the city council and county commissioners implement these kinds of top-down control programs.
Now, Tom, we really only have like 30 seconds left. How can people find out more? How can they get in touch with you to work with you on these projects?
They can go to AmericanPolicy.org. We have a 15-year archive of articles we've written on this very subject. You can find out all these details there at AmericanPolicy.org. You can give us a call. Our office is in Warrenton, Virginia, the American Policy Center. Number is 540-341-8911.
All right, Tom, thank you for coming on the Reality Report. We hope to have you again soon.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks.